Hello from Salt Lake City, Utah. This city was founded more than 150 years ago when Mormons from back east escaping intense persecution came out here searching for Zion. They decided to settle here near the Great Salt Lake, hoping to sell the salt. Though that idea didn't pan out, the city has today become a beautiful, thriving city, and indeed all of Utah has become a great state. Um, what Salt Lake is really famous for, and what indeed all of Utah is famous for, is the Mormon community. Mormonism could be said to be the only true American, or the only true major American religion that started in the United States. While Mormons themselves consider them to be a breakoff from the mainline Christian church, Joseph Smith coming as a prophet to restore God's true church on earth, many mainline Christians see them as being a breakaway due to some major theological differences, such as Mormons not seeing Christ as, or Jesus as being God, whereas most mainline Christians do. But regardless, Mormonism has grown very rapidly. In fact, there are some 15 million Mormons now in the world. And to put that in perspective, that's more Mormons in the world than there are Jewish people. And one of the big reasons for this is Mormons' incredible industriousness in proselytizing and spreading their faith. In fact, every good Mormon boy, and increasingly every good Mormon girl, is expected to come here to Utah to go to the Mission Training Center to learn how to become a missionary. Afterwards, they're sent off to faraway lands, or not so faraway lands, to walk around and spread their faith. You might have seen them in their neighborhood, wearing the white shirt with the black name tag. Hello, my name is Elder Smith. How are you today? Do you have a moment to talk about the Lord? In fact, one of my good friends in high school that I had the pleasure of knowing was a Mormon, and he did his training here. He was scheduled to go off to Brazil, was learning Portuguese, but was ultimately unable to get his Portuguese missionary visa, or his Brazilian missionary visa, Brazil being notorious for being a bit nasty with their visa process, and so he was reassigned to, of all places, Akron, Ohio. Salt Lake City is famous for many things, but one thing that I like about it, being interested in urban planning and the way that cities are designed, is it has some of the biggest block sizes in the entire world, certainly in the entire United States. And in addition to those, it also has extremely wide streets. Most downtown areas around the world and in the United States are one way because the streets are too narrow to support two ways. But Brigham Young, the person who took over the Mormon church after Joseph Smith was killed during that intense persecution that I talked about that sent the Mormons bravely going across the plains as pioneers searching for their Zion, he wanted to have the streets to be wide enough that, in his words, a carriage driver with 4 horses or 6 could turn around without having to resort to cussing. As you may or may not know, if you've had the pleasure of knowing and being friends with the Mormon, they're famous for their clean living. And that includes no cussing, no alcohol, and the fun one, no caffeine. So if you're with a particularly observant Mormon, you'll notice that when they order their soda, they make sure to get it non-caffeinated. That'll be 1 Fanta, please. I drove here today from Twin Falls, Idaho, where I was before. About a 4-hour drive. As you can see, it's a bit rainy and cloudy out right now. Some Seattle weather, actually. I'm 1,000 miles away, but it followed me. And as I was driving through the just desolate, but beautifully desolate, rolling hills and plains in between here and Boise, I practically expected a giant to just come bursting through the fog and leap over the roadway. I assume, of course, that's what they meant when there's all the signs that said, wildlife crossing. So I'm going to be staying here tonight, um, and then I will be off to Wyoming tomorrow. Be driving east over the hills and mountains. If what other fun things are there about Utah? Well, famous name, of course, Utah, the Beehive State. It's a comment on their industriousness and hardworking aspect of the Mormon pioneer spirit. It's also, of course, commentary, I think, on the hive mind mentality of Mormon folk. And if you're watching this and you're Mormon, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I think that about covers it. If you ever get the chance to come on down to Salt Lake City, I really recommend it. The unique culture out here and the unique people are definitely part of what makes America great. All right, until Wyoming, I'm out.